Okay, so let's discuss how to do the analysis on the SKF Product Select, which is the official website of selecting the bearings by finding the reactions and the friction forces and the lubrications and the stuff like that. Okay, so I have already done the analytical calculation. I want to show you. Yeah, here I think so. I haven't opened that yet. Okay, let's save that. Let's move to the main problem. So evaluate performance shaft with rolling bearings. Evaluate. Now you are given with the data in the Excel sheet. Okay, so whatever the data is, okay, so mine data was let me see that. Yeah, so I did the analytical calculation, and in the catalog for my roller bearing, deep groove roller bearing, so I got the bore dia and the outer dia and the width of the bearing, and this is the Seaton catalog kilonewton load rating, which is the expected load of the bearing. Okay, so let's go to the website and put here the values of the left dimension. So if you have the same bearings on the both sides, then there you go, you can select this, you can enable this option. But in my case, both bearings are different. The left side one is the deep groove bearing, and the right one is the cylindrical roller bearing. Okay, so I found my calculation, and here it is: 40, 80 and 18. So the bore is 40. Okay, so I'm just putting all the values in it, and 80 and 18, and the cylindrical roller bearings bore and the OD and the other dimension is 35, 72 and 17 respectively. Okay, and select the bearing type. Here my bearing type is the cylindrical roller bearing, and here the deep groove ball bearing. Okay, and now in this table, the SKF Explorer high load levels and extended service, I don't know what it is, but you are concerned with the catalog, so you match your catalog here. So in my case, the catalog was 30.7, so I'm looking for the 30.7. Here it is. I got my catalog, and I got the bore and the dia and the width. So select this one, and in the right bearing, which was the cylindrical roller bearing, so in this bearing my catalog was 31.9. So I'm looking for my catalog. I'm bothering to select my catalog because it is not available in this catalog. I think so I have to select some random one. Okay, so this next. Okay, so here it is. This is the distance between the two bearings, which is basically C. So in my case, the C was 440. So input the value, whatever the value is, okay, and in the below the coordinate system. So this is the coordinate system, okay. So I'm zooming it. So this is the exact coordinate system I used to find the reactions of the bearings, okay. But while finding the reactions of the bearing, I used the radial component of force and a tangential component of force on each gear, okay. So the radial component of force, which is P1R, so it is in the y direction, in the negative y direction. So my value was 3.728. I'm putting it minus 3.728, okay. And the tangential component of the force on the gear 1. So on the gear 1, the tangential component of force is in the positive x direction. So in this way, I am putting my value in positive sense, and here it is. This is F1T, so this is 8 kilonewton, okay. And you can see here the P1T is parallel to the x-axis, so there will not be any movement in the x direction, okay, along the x direction, but there will be a movement in y and z component, okay. So in the z component, I have the value a. So you can see here the gear 1 has z distance on a. So this is a, and in my coordinate system, this central axis is z. So the z distance is a. So on the table, I am putting my a value, which is 180, which is given at the table by the professor, okay. And similarly, in the y direction, so the y direction is the radius of the gear. So the radius is the half of the pitch diameter of the gear 1. So which is, in my case, is 22.5, okay. And the x is 0, and add another force, which is for the right bearing, okay. So for the right bearing, go to the schematic diagram. See here the P2R is in the radial direction, and the P2T is in the tangential direction, okay. So just look at the orientation of P2R. It is in the negative x direction, and P2T is in the positive y direction. So whatever the force you have calculated, just put in the force in the y in the positive direction. In case of the right bearing, whatever the bearing you have in your assignment, okay. So in my case, the F1T, so this one is P1T, P2T, okay. So this is in the positive y direction, okay, and P2T is, in my case, 5.14, and similarly the P2R is 2.4, but minus 2.4, because the P2R is in the negative x direction, okay. And the let me so check the movement, the predicted movement that should be created by the P2T, which is a tangential force on the gear 2. So just look at the force and look, this is parallel to the Y, so there will not be any movement along the Y direction, so it will cause movement about X and about Z direction. So in the Z direction, you can see here, this is the distance about Z, so this would be the Z axis and this distance is C. Okay, and just put here in the Z box, in mm, the value of C, whatever the C you have, just put here. Okay, for 40, and in Y put 0, and in X you can see the X direction. In the X direction you have the radius. Okay, in the X direction you have the radius, so this is the half of the pitch dia of the gear 2. Okay, so just put the half of the pitch dia, so the pitch dia is 70 and this one is 35. Okay, and here whatever the revolution speed you put in, it doesn't matter, and it doesn't alter the calculation. Okay, just calculate, and here it is, you got the calculation results. And just look at the I'm not getting it. Yeah, this is just select the arrow, just look at the forces of the bearing left and right. This is the reaction force of the bearing on the left side, which is in my case is deep groove, and this is cylindrical rolling bearing. Okay, just go to the friction tolerance, I don't know what it is, just go to the summary and download the report. Okay, just give the title and give the name and the description and get the PDF of your results. Okay, okay, so the time is now 12 p.m. 12 a.m. I'm sleepy now. I'm quit the day. Bye bye.